Okay, so now that we have got that, let's climb up this other tower and get some more stuff. Hopefully these pots will be kind to me and give me more health, because that would be very, very helpful. We've got another inspired fight coming up shortly. So, Rodan and the Gates of Hell. There is a place beloved by wanted men and rogues where money and power rule all. It is where I have established my office. Those who call this place by its given name are instantly identified as newcomers, as the tired hands of this rat hole all call it by only a single name, the dumb. Bloody battles and dirty disputes over money are an everyday occurrence here, and the concept of concern for one's fellow man was long since lost on the dump's denizens. What the people here are after, what they love to see, is not of this world. They thirst for the uproar only the occult can inspire. The appearance of a spectre, a man being devoured by a demon. These are the snacks they eat as they drink and cavort in the dump's numerous watering holes. It is this place that I have come on my pilgrimage, in search of a grasp on reality. The dump is a wretched hive for all sorts of scum and villainy, home to everyone from black market businessmen to informants and the devil hunters in between. But amongst them all, one man is particularly strange. His name is Rodan, proprietor of the Gates of Hell bar. His front may be that of a bartender, but rumour has it that he is actually an arms dealer. Of course, if a man such as myself were to visit his establishment, there is no way all of his secrets would be laid bare. However, I can tell just by the air around him that he is a dangerous man. Unlike the standard assortment of thugs in this place, his is a sort of danger on a truly different level. According to my colleagues, if one carries enough clout here, Rodan is known to provide a gun or blade should the fee prove satisfactory. That is all I've been able to bring out of the people here. There are also rumours that if you enter the bar from some sort of hidden entrance, he will provide you things money cannot buy. Also saith the gossips in this occult-obsessed town. They even go so far as to say these things are not made by normal means, but are weapons made from materials available only in Inferno. In the dump there are enough rumours to rot one's ears, and if I hadn't seen the fresco of the Trinity of Realities, a staple of the Rigridian religions, on Rodan's wall, I would have dismissed talk of him as nothing more than the tall tale. In any case, if I am able to fully investigate this man's secrets, I will surely be able to obtain the truth I so desperately seek. However, aimless ciphering around in this town is a great way to wind up dead. I'll have to be prudent and not leave things to chance. So, yeah, the plot thickens. And we have another broken witch heart here. Always very, very helpful. Now, the weapon that we just got, Durga, its name is comes from Durga the Invincible, who is a popular kind of Hindu goddess, essentially. Well, at least she's a form of the radiant goddess Devi in Hindu mythology, so she's the Divine Mother. Now the weapons kind of do have a very similar link to Grace and Glory, which is very obvious. They're also a sort of homage to the two main devil arms in the original Devil May Cry, because you've got the Durga Lightning Claw could reference Alastor, which was the Thundersword, and the Fire Durga could reference Ifrit, the Fire Gauntlets. And the thunder is weaker but faster, and the fire is stronger but slower. They're also quite similar to Agni and Rudra in Devil May Cry 3 Dante's Awakening, in terms of both colours and elemental abilities. Although Rudra is wind elemental whilst Durga's lightning, but both storms. Also, Durga's a name of a character in Anarchy Reigns, which came out after this game. Oh, another... Oh, I'm loving all these health power-ups. It's just really helpful. Basically, in Anarchy Reigns, which was also made by Platinum Games, it features a lot of the characters from Mad World, and also has Bayonetta as a guest star, which is brilliant. And Durga is a cat-like well, he's a cyborg with a cat-like appearance, and a mechanical right leg that holds a revolver. So, potentially nice little reference to Bayonetta in there. Now, here's another little hidden verse that you probably won't have noticed. And hopefully I'm going to be able to manipulate these harmonies to get some health back. I hope. Because basically, okay, never mind. Because I have the Star of Dinatea equipped, essentially what that allows you to do is, if you taunt an enemy, you regain some health. But clearly that didn't happen. Oh yeah, give me all the magic in the world, but you don't give me the health I want. But yeah, as I said before, health is actually really rare to get from pots. So I did very well to get what I did, because that doesn't happen often. Now, the Inspired that was here, you can actually just ignore him. But obviously I want the platinum ranking, and to get the platinum ranking, you really do need to do all of the verses if you want to stand a chance at being successful in that. And here we have another big angel monster. It's very similar to what happened with Fortitudo in the fact that he just happened to materialise here and he really couldn't care less about Bayonetta at this point in time. But he's not important right now. What is important, however, is this.
The only ones meddling are your hapless minions. This will be taken care of in the manner I see fit. Your assistance is not required.
Music for this little bit is Showdown with Jean A.
Feeling better, Bayonetta?
Who are you? And don't you dare say my long-lost sister.
Sister, you've quite the active imagination. You and I once fought for the jewel upon the crown of the Umbra throne. And now that you've returned, my sleeping beauty, it is time to finish that fight. No time for daydreaming.
And now as we go into this fight, music here is Showdown with Jean B, and it's wonderful. It's one of my favourite cutscene fights in the game. It's just brilliant. So unfortunately that fight was cut a bit short, but I'm fine with that. Because it means that we get an actual fight with Jean with the awesome red and black. Now, Don-san, who worked on most of the... Well, he's the guy in charge of the enemies. He put a lot of effort into making Jean a great enemy. Particularly because he's very, very fond of human enemies. And because often what happens is that as the main character grows, enemies based on the main character also become stronger as well. It's just a great kind of mechanic. It just makes it really awesome. Also, Don-san really wanted it to be a fair fight, so you'll never be blindsided, and the computer doesn't read your movements. At least, the player should never be blindsided. Sometimes that can't be helped. As I said before, moving the camera so that an enemy appears and then it attacks and then you move away from it, and yeah, but this is a very fair fight. It's difficult, don't get me wrong. And I mean, you can get Jean in a bit of a loop if you use Durga, particularly. Because basically, if you there's a foot sweep move, and then you lift up to punch, and if you hold that punch with Durga, then it emits a lightning bolt. And it's a great way of kind of doing well on Jean, but I struggled to pull that move off effectively. So I'm just going to stick with Scarb Repair for now. Also, a move that's very, very helpful is Tetsunako. Because Jean generally can't dodge it that well. But yeah, that's Jean all done and dusted.
Afraid of something, are you?
Also, the point where we were flying on the bits of debris, originally they were gonna have it so that if you didn't beat Jean fast enough on them, then you would crash and die, but they knew that was going to be way too hard, so they got rid of the limit, thankfully. And here we see Jean using awesome technique that is Beast Within, or at least multiple, because there's Beast Within, Owl Within, and Moth Within, although for Bayonetta, that's actually Beast Within, Crow Within, and Bat Within. Now, the 3-shot insert that they had there was actually very last minute. After they put the whole game together, they realised that you transformed into the Panther without having any recognition for it. And since a new event was completely impossible at that point, they had to come up with something very quickly, and then they realised that they could use the 3-shot image without compromising memory, which is just great.
I should have been a pole dancer.
So I got the platinum. Took me 2 runs of the level, or chapter, but I did it in the end. I'm very proud of myself. Because, as I've said many times before, but Chapter 5 is very long and therefore very difficult. Also, it's very difficult anyway. But also, apparently, it was trimmed a bit as well, because you were gonna explore the inside of some statues, I think, but they lost that idea when they trimmed stuff. So, Chapter 5 could have potentially been even longer. But thankfully, you never have to face a chapter that length ever again, thankfully. So, with the monstrous chapter out of the way, it's time to move on to something a little bit more fun. With Chapter 6. I love this chapter, it's brilliant.